Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
All right, let's see what's happening for this week. Tonight, like every Wednesday night, we will be in the chat room, keithandthegirl.com/chat. We play poker, but I'm pretty good at it, so you might not want to play and you just want to chat. That is fine too. This Saturday, it's Silent Trailers. I will be destroying Carrie Gravidson, Will Winner, Catherine Heller, Mark DeMeo, Patrick Schroeder. It's going to be a bloodbath. Be part of it. It's the best game show ever made. keithandthegirl.com/tickets. What else do I got here? Kenda's birthday is in 2 weeks. Okay. Well, Kenda slipped words into my notes before I printed it out. Kickstarter has a new video. Go to keithandthegirl.com/kick. It keeps the show going. It's very important. I think you'll like the rewards a lot. All right. Let's get right to it. Today's guests from the Narcissistas. Hilarious comedian. Courtney McGinnis. Hello, Courtney.
Oh my God, look at you two. Stunning, gorgeous. Thank you so much for having me. What a life I have.
Courtney, you have to look at other people's boxes in Zoom as well.
Oh no, but look at me.
And her husband, Casey.
Hi.
From the good, the bad, and the ugly, it's the Wild Country Phoenix himself, Casey James Salango. Hello, Casey.
Hi. Hey, Keith. It's me, Casey. You guys look cool.
She took all the good lines, right? I was listening to the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh boy.
And tell me what I'm hearing about. Speaking of Patrick Schroeder,
No, daddy.
there's a doomsday clock of sorts,
Mm-hmm.
and Pat is saying he's going to let his girlfriend peg him, which is what you say, so you don't come off homosexual. Fuck him in the ass by the end of the year. How did that even come up?
Well, there's several theories. But his girlfriend has been saying that she wants to peg him for a while. So he tells us, and of course, we think it's hilarious, and it would be good for Pat to experience this.
It would be good for Pat.
It would. It'd be very grounding, and I think it'd bring him closer to himself.
Like kind of clear his chakras.
Yeah, clear him real good.
Wait, it specifically would be good for Pat, or also Casey, it was good for you, and so and you're passing it.
I haven't had it yet, so I don't know. I think more Pat. I'm more in touch with my feminine side, and I'm more open with everything.
What's
Pat's
feminine about getting it up the butt?
It's pretty much like a lady to get fucked in the ass, if you ask me. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm more open and free than Pat. He's really grounded in some toxic masculinity. So I think his girlfriend ramming something up his ass would help him out, and Will agrees. And
I invite you to listen back to this show and how you talked about it's feminine to have something in your butt. We have other holes.
You have what now? Courtney hasn't showed me.
One time I fingered Casey's butt and I got about this high, about the first knuckle of my pinky. And when we finished, he was like, "Why did you put your whole fist in there?"
It felt like it was up.
Come on.
It felt like it was up to her elbow. I'd let her do it more, but I have a lot of problems back there. So I don't have to read that. I don't have to read that.
I just texted in private. Hey, Casey, back up a little from your mic and back up a little from my mic.
I can't read in my head.
Have the two of you discussed Courtney fucking Casey in the butt? Has this ever been a discussion?
We've discussed it. She doesn't seem interested. She's gonna lie now and say like I've shut it down because it's funny. But
absolutely not. Absolutely not. I tried to do fingers only. I don't really need to penetrate my husband. It's not a thing that I like. I'm like, yeah, I'm into that. But like, I wanted to put a finger up there, see if he liked it, and he can't handle. The man's got IBS. So listen, you could say I'm taking my own life into my hands. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yes. And we tried vice versa. He tried to put it in my butt, and
what happened?
I learned from the gays, you gotta really want it. And I don't think I wanted it.
She didn't want it bad enough. And she could have cleaned out a little more.
Did you come back with two finger? Little dirt nail. She could
alter her diet in some ways for a couple days, but it all worked out in the end.
Were you glad for a second? Like, hey, I'm going to pretend it's this, but now I don't even have to mess back there.
No, I just said
a lot of pressure, even being the giver.
I just said, I'll be right back. And I ran to the bathroom. And I wasn't going to tell her because I didn't want to embarrass her. But
That's sweet.
here we
That's
are.
sweet. Here we are.
I don't remember this.
It's best not to.
The other day we were talking about how Dr. Joe Rogan claimed that he's able to suck his own dick.
What? He said
He
this?
said that?
Yeah. So why? Yeah. Why not? Right.
Incredible.
So
Sure.
he was clear that he never stuck the dick in his mouth. You know, you don't want to be gay, but
Of
he
course.
smacked around his face so he knows that he could if he wanted to.
Didn't say smack around my face.
It
What
was
did he
by
say?
his cheek, he said.
Yes, he understands because he can get further that if his dick was in his way, it would be in his mouth.
Yeah, which I don't
Mm.
believe. Something's missing. Have you ever tried, Casey, to blow yourself?
I mean, I've tried. I can't touch my toes.
He can't tie
There's
his
I can't
shoes.
tie my shoes. There's no way I can suck my own dick. Joe Rogan's a very small man. So he could probably curl his little body up like a centipede if I can get his dick and balls in there.
Centipede.
Yeah, there's no way I could do it. Believe me, I've tried. Have you tried, Keith?
Sure, I've tried. I've done
Yeah.
the legs over the head. It's first of all, it's scary. I think I'm gonna choke myself, not with
Yeah.
the dick, just with you know
Mhm.
the bending.
Mhm.
No, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
But Joe Rogan takes horse medication. Maybe he's hung
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. You know,
If he could do it, he's done it. So I don't know why I bring it up if you say I'm not going to do it. If you can do it, that's ridiculous.
Mhm.
It's
That's
just
I don't
funny
see
that
why
no-
not.
on his show nobody challenged him. You know, it's like three other dudes, and they were just like, "All right."
Cool.
He says he can. He can. Like, there's not a follow up question. Like, what?
That's insane.
I can lick my own tit. I think that's pretty cool.
That's cool. Now that's
That is cool. It is pretty cool.
Will you do that in bed to like turn on Casey? Will you do it?
Absolutely, but I get too into it, and then I'm like, "You can go."
I'm not even a part of it. I can lick my own tit. That's not that impressive.
Are you? Come on, you can't let me say that.
Let's see.
No,
Here we go.
no.
Taking a look.
See?
And
Oh, you can.
I used to when I was fatter.
Oh, okay.
look at
My
this.
shirt's too thick.
My
honey,
shirt's too
honey,
thick.
honey, you show.
Okay.
does seem a little different. The poll we put up on the forums was dick havers only.
Dick
Can you
havers
suck
only.
your own dick? And your choices were yes, no, or I'm not a dick haver. It's very hard to be woke and make polls nowadays, but
Yeah,
we do our best.
sure.
One person said yes, they can
Really?
suck their own dick. Then tell me how to do it. Can you imagine? We live in a world where someone knows how to suck their own dick, can tell that
Mhm.
almost nobody else can do it. They say on the forums they can do it, but they don't give me any hints or tips or
No,
tricks.
no context. No context.
Yeah.
Is there any way to get a hold of this person?
I hopefully they're hearing this and they're like,
Hopefully.
hey, give a fucking yeah.
Yeah.
I know how to make $1 million. Well, share it.
Yeah.
No.
Drop us a line. This one licks her own pussy all day
Oh my
long.
god, both
dog,
the pets, both the
The
pets
dog.
lick all their privates all the
Oh,
time.
Monday, don't you, bud? That's why we love you.
Do you ever stomp the dog or are you like,
Well, if it
hey, nobody's
gets-
looking?
It gets aggressive sometimes. And
Sometimes she'll use us for
yeah,
leverage.
She puts
and
your
that's
arm on
upsetting.
it. And
That's
you're like,
upsetting.
I don't want to be a part of it.
And hey, maybe that's the dick sucking guy. Maybe you need some leverage. Maybe you need a buddy to
You
kind
need
of
a-
help you
a-
suck your own
A
dick.
spotter.
A spotter, yeah.
Yeah.
A spotter.
Did you guys see the story of the band Brass Against and the lead singer pissed
Mhm.
on a dude? I don't know how. I
I showed
honestly
you
don't know
that.
how some things make news. But anyway, it's Brass Against.
You don't
and
know
they
how
play-
that made news?
I'll
It's
tell you
pretty
what,
cool.
I didn't know that the insurrection was a big deal until the news told me that day. I'm like, here we are. You know, so I don't fucking know what's news and what's not.
You were there being like, why are there so many cameras?
Who cares? Who gives a shit? We do what we want now in America. No, so this band, they play like Tool songs, Rage Against the Machine, but they're a brass band. Woman's hardcore chick, but it's all brass instruments. That's the gimmick. And they were opening up, I think, for Tool. And anyway, she said, I got to take a piss. Who wants to be my toilet? This guy lays down on stage, and as she's singing the chorus, spray, and I mean sprays. All women do, all over this fucking
Oh my
dude.
god.
And now it's not a nice stream, is what I mean. It's going everywhere.
Mm.
You guys have like 7 holes down there,
Woo.
and the guy's loving it. but it's making the news like, oh, how disgusting. Is everybody a fake prude? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. I will tell you that Casey texted me that video while I was working, no context. So I literally was like,
where you at?
like literally, like, do you want this? What is this? What do you want from me?
I just thought it was cool. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I think it made it into the news. A lot of people were like, this is wild. Some people thought it was gross. And then the people were, brushing up against people who thought it was gross, saying you're a prude. I think it was just, it gave a lot of feelings to a lot of people. And it was important.
It's interesting that all I'm thinking is the logistics of getting yourself back home.
Absolutely.
Right.
Are you going to public transit? What are we doing here? You got you're in your buddy's car?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Are you the designated driver? Did you stay sober for this? And that's, everyone's fun is fun. I think that's fun. Keith describing pissing all over the place, thinking women have so many holes. It's confusing and we need to talk to Kyle. But
maybe
first it's more than one. Now it's so many. Fucking how many holes are there down there?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the fuck's happening. You know the game you play where you're like blah 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 with the what do you call that? Anyways, it's more visual thing.
What is it? I'm talking.
It's like the
mash.
The mash.
That's what a vagina is like. I don't know what's down there. I really don't. I know I'm gonna live in a mansion and marry a plumber. I don't know what's happening.
What are you, Princess Peaches?
But I don't know. There's I can't think of a single show where I wouldn't want to see somebody piss on. I wish they did it in Hamilton. $200 tickets. Why wouldn't you want to see that?
That's cute.
Awesome.
You think it's $200.
Right.
I mean, listen, it's funny that that's happening and everybody freaks out. It's like everybody who freaks out absolutely wants to get pissed on. That's clearly, right?
Sure. It's definitely black and white. And we solved it.
Have you guys pissed on each other for sexual reasons or the goof?
Oh,
no.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Remember in the shower?
Oh, I did it as a bit. It
was not a bit. Casey did it just to see if he liked it.
It was a bit.
Turns out he doesn't.
I
had to pee. I had to pee, and she was in the way.
In the shower.
Where'd you piss on?
Her general torso.
Okay. And then what do? Do you be like, yeah, not our thing?
I go, all right, well.
No, he literally was like, well, we did that.
Yeah.
I did that with Kyle. We're just like laughing like we're kids. Like,
yeah.
You pissed on my tie. You pissed on my stomach. Never again, right? Never again.
It's funny. It's fun.
I was showering one time and Xerxes needed to pee. And so he started peeing on me.
Oh, that's cute.
I cracked up the whole time. It was so funny.
That's cute.
I mean, it is definitely the most ideal place to get peed on, the shower, for sure.
Right. Sure. Yeah, this guy didn't have a shower. Brass Against lead singer Sophia Urista has issued a formal apology. She said, "Hey, hi, everyone. I want to speak to my performance at Rockville Metal Festival in Daytona.
Oh, it happened in Daytona.
I have always pushed the limits in music and on stage. That night, I pushed the limits too far. I love my family." That wasn't my question. Bitch doesn't love her family.
She hates her mom, clearly.
I love my family, the band, and the fans more than anything. And I know that some were hurt or offended by what I did. Pissing in the name of. I apologize to them and want them to know that I didn't mean to hurt them. Who are these prudes hanging out with? I am not a shock artist. Well, it doesn't just come to you. You know what I mean? She dropped trousers. She had pants on. I always want to. Yeah.
Okay. I pictured a skirt, but maybe I'm a prude. Okay.
Like
full pants down. Yeah. I don't understand why she had to apologize. Maybe her family was upset.
I think her family, the band members, a few of them were like, "What the fuck, dude? I'm just trying to play my trumpet over here." And you're pissed.
Can you imagine she never did that though before in her life? Like she didn't do anything controversial at shows, and then you see your singer starts dropping trout, and you're like,
yeah.
With the trumpet, you're like, what the fuck?
This is like a fucking ska band. I don't think I realized that.
Yeah, they're brass instruments playing like hard rock
Honestly,
songs.
I didn't know what you meant by that. I thought it was some cool genre I never heard of. I was like, yeah, whatever.
You're playing it cool.
About.
I'm not a shock artist. I always want to put the music first. I'm grateful for all your continued love and support.
Do you think that's like a we're going to get a fine unless we say that
Yeah.
this isn't the thing to do or something
maybe.
like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
because the band tweeted, "We're still processing. ... This was profoundly unexpected.
Oh,
We had a great
okay.
time. Sophia got carried away. You know, Sophia.
Mhm.
That's not something the rest of us expected, and it's not something you'll see again at our shows. Thanks for bringing it last night, Daytona. And John, thanks for your
Oh.
mouth."
Okay, so they weren't happy with it because they're professional brass band. That is,
Yeah.
I guess, a different vibe. But
So they're
they're a brass
dorks.
band with her
Yeah.
though. So
Yeah.
I think they're just
Not-
covering their bases for legal purposes. But now I think people will go to their shows wanting that to happen, be
Yeah.
upset that it doesn't.
What's next?
How
you
else-
gotta shit in someone's
Yeah,
face.
it's true. Would you have ever heard of this fucking band if it's Lady and Piss on someone? No.
No.
So just ride the wave, baby.
Daytona International Speedway says they do not condone the inappropriate actions that took place during Thursday's Welcome to Rockville event. We're working with promoter to address the issue. What's there to address? You saw it. It happened. The band will not be included in future programming at NASCAR venues.
wow.
Too
Wow.
much. It's too much.
I
Jesus
guess
Christ.
maybe I'm totally confused on the story because in my head it was like some hardcore thing, and then that would be like it's like a Guar show, but
Yeah.
instead of blood, it's piss. You know, like I just thought that was like a thing.
Hmm.
I didn't realize this was some family friendly air quotes NASCAR. You know,
Right.
something.
Yeah, I
I
guess the
don't know.
NASCAR thing has to be family friendly. It just
I
seems like it was
guess. I
so
mean-
consensual.
It was so consent. And those race car drivers piss themselves constantly. So who
Yeah.
gives a shit?
Yeah.
And everybody there's getting drunk and piss
I
on
was
stuff.
gonna
She's the only
say.
one that can't. This is fucked up.
Supposedly, she's never. This isn't who she is. This isn't her character. I do stand up obviously much more infrequently than you guys do, but sometimes you almost black out. I finish
Yeah.
a show and I
That's
got to be
true.
like, Kenda, you're in the audience. What the fuck happened? Was I did I do all right?
Yeah.
that's
and I'm
true,
like,
that's
right.
true.
Did she get off stage and was like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah. Probably just
I mean, listen, we've
improv-ing.
all been there where you where
Yeah.
you show everyone your privates, pee on an audience
Yeah.
member. That's stand up, baby.
That's improv, man. You let the dog off the chain, he's gonna bite sometimes. That's how it goes.
I'm reading about a guy that flies a small airplane.
Cool.
And he hollowed out the back, put a bed in it, and you can fuck in the plane while you're in the air.
Oh wow.
honey.
Is that
Why-
cool?
We have a bed.
$995. I think I'd save up for that.
It's
That sounds fun.
95.
$995.
Oh,
$1,000.
But
I
it's
was
a,
like 95. What's the website?
Right.
it's a small plane though that killed many of our great musical artists, and he's gonna be so close to you. What the fuck?
Well, that's true. I'm too like friendly. I'd be like, "So, where are you from?" And then I'd be like, "Okay, don't look over here."
Right.
You know, like it'd be so.
No.
Where's the transition?
Mhm.
He's like, "Well, we're at 10,000 feet. You guys do your thing. I'm pretend I'm not here."
I would tip ahead of time so he doesn't look back and be like, already? $995 for 45 minutes, or you can do $1,500 for an hour and a half, but you can't
hour
make
and a
that deal
half.
around your woman, right? You got to be like, the small one's fine.
Yeah.
What's 10 minutes? I mean,
How about 7 minutes? Yeah. Just fucking get it up and circle and land. What the fuck? You should the Ubers make that kind of deal? That would be fun. That's kind of the same thing.
Oh my god.
If I drove
seems-
Uber, I'd do that. You could
No,
fuck
I'd
for
get
10 bucks.
Car sick.
That sounds like a good price. I think it's
Yeah.
manageable for that kind of experience, right?
Absolutely. A once in a lifetime Mile High Club. Come on, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know he doesn't fit in airplane bathroom, so that's not a
Option.
choice for it's
No,
not an
no.
option.
We get up there, end up like Leonard Skinner. That'd be great.
See that?
Just fucking
Keith-
strewn through the woods.
KeithandTheGirl.com/kick. Let's have new experiences.
Yeah. All right.
You'd be like, maybe you guys go out there and be like, no fucking, just podcast, and then that'd be kind of cool.
That's fun.
Just anytime I get in one of those small planes, I'm like, is this a fucking plane? Or
Be like, sir, this is a Delta flight to Palm Springs.
okay.
Okay.
It's so
Gotcha.
expensive, but okay. Mel Gibson will direct the 5th and likely final installment of Lethal Weapon.
Oh, Courtney's favorite actor.
Yeah, you love him. Finally, he got out of his shell, and the real him is. I remember seeing an old Lethal Weapon,
Mhm.
and I couldn't watch it. He disgusted me so much. I couldn't watch it. You know, the guy's he started slow back from from the anti-black stuff, the anti-Jewish stuff. He put out a movie. They didn't even put his name on the poster at first, and then slowly people were okay with him, and he's back, and it's shocking to me.
Isn't he the original one who says I'm getting too old for this shit? And we're on the
That was his
one?
buddy.
That was Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting
Murtaugh.
too young for this.
I don't think he brings up his age at all.
Oh.
And at every movie, if I'm remembering right, they always had a comic, right? They always had
Yeah.
comic
Chris
relief.
Rock.
Chris Rock.
Paula Poundstone.
Stop it.
Uh,
Tig Notaro is going to be in the new one.
So again, or Louis C.K. Who knows?
Oh, yeah,
Who knows what
probably.
goes up
probably.
to?
Probably.
Who the fuck
Mhm.
knows?
That is just like, why do we need another Lethal Weapon?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody. It's fine. We don't need anymore.
Danny Glover's got to be like 90 at this point.
God bless. He's getting
Here's-
too old for this.
He's getting too old for
What
this
was
shit in
the line?
1984. Yeah. I'm getting too young for this shit. What the fuck does that mean?
Wait till the trailer comes out, and that's literally the line.
Right. Here's a tweet from Isaac Chotner, and he says, Riggs and Murtaugh have battled drug dealers, South African diplomats, dirty cops, Chinese smugglers. Now it's time to take on a new villain, the Jews.
No,
my
boy.
God.
Very
Oh my
exciting.
God.
He does hate the Jews. He
Oh
does
my
hate the Jews.
God. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we
This is-
doing? There's
this is-
so many cool things that could be made.
Yeah.
This is a perfect time for this. Better Help, H-E-L-P, talking about therapy. I heard this news. I called up my person right away. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. I'm a fan. Hemd is a fan. You'll be matched with a therapist under 48 hours. You can text them. You can call them. You can have them on video. And it's cheaper than seeing an in-person therapist. Whereas I
Unless
think
you
it'd be
take
the
them on a
opposite.
plane, then it'll be way more
Mm.
expensive.
That's
Honey,
crazy.
come on.
Let's see. BetterHelp.com/KTG. Join over 2 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. All right. Listeners, you get 10% off your first month. Go to BetterHelp.com/KTG. All right. By the way, speaking of the insurrection, thank you, Casey. It comes up with Casey. Thank
Oh
you.
my God.
I like encouragement. Thank you.
Mhm, mhm.
Speaking of the insurrection, you know the guy that was all dressed up like a wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
QAnon shaman. He was known as Jacob Chansley.
Mhm.
He's just been sentenced 41 months in prison.
Oh,
Mhm.
great, 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 great.
What was he up for? I
Uh,
remember remember his image. He's sort of like the image representation of what happened that day, right?
Yes,
Yes,
A sloppy mess.
all this fur, horns on his head,
Great body. Great body.
good
the hell?
body. Not a bad body. Not bad look. I can't just hate.
He's a good looking. He's a good looking guy.
I don't know if it was the
He's
pain or
like
not,
you-
but he was.
He's like, you should have seen him in person. Oh my God. Great bone structure.
So,
that's a
so-
long time in jail.
He should be in jail at least that much time.
No, it's great. I'm just saying.
These
It's a long time.
fucking
What
don't
did
get
they
me
get him?
started.
What did they get him on?
I guess just going through Nancy Pelosi's folders. You can't be doing that.
You can't be doing
I bet
that.
if you check the Republican like news sites today, it's like, for being a good American, this guy's
Yeah.
going to jail.
Mhm.
Yeah, the thing is 41 months for any regular person. It's, you are behind bars, but holy shit, you broke into
Yeah.
it's.
You tried to kill Nancy Pelosi. That was the plan. Like the Speaker of the House. Like, come on. Also, 41 months. I was like, that's like 5 years. And I was like, no, it's not. But it's a lot, right?
It's a
How
lot.
long is that?
It's
You
about
got it,
3.5 years.
Got
Okay.
it.
It's a long time.
I
But,
watched a
yeah.
video earlier on how to make your own mozzarella sticks in prison. So I'll
Oh,
send that over. It made me want to go to prison because I was like, this looks pretty fun.
does it
Anyway, you
include a
guys
toilet?
talk about-
Everything includes a toilet.
No, you use Vaseline to make a candle, and then you heat up a aluminum can. They put a little oil in, And then you get some of those, those beef and cheese sticks. So you get those, you coat them in you coat them in Doritos. I didn't expect to explain this today. You get an egg, which I don't know how you get the egg in prison, but anyway, you make a little coating.
You don't want to know how you get the
drop
egg
it.
in
You
prison.
don't want to know how you get the egg in prison, but you get it.
I picture
And then you
Casey
deep
sees
fry it.
this. Casey sees this. He's like, all right, if jail is in my future,
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's good to know.
I could do that. That looked delicious.
675 people have been prosecuted so far from that riot.
Wow. That's a lot.
His is the longest. And he's like, it's the paint, isn't it? It's the war
Yeah.
paint.
You had to be showy about it, bud.
it's because I was a meme, wasn't it? A
Right.
liberal meme.
The Staples Center is going to be renamed.
Why? That's such a catchy name.
That's right. I'm just so used to it too. The Staples Center. I don't necessarily think the store Staples.
Right,
Mm.
right.
Sponsors.
I think of it.
You
I
think
do
of it
too.
every time.
I
You're
love
like,
those
I
too,
use some
yeah.
paper.
I love those big tubs of cheese balls they sell at
Oh, yeah.
Staples. So yeah, I think of it.
We gotta
Casey, how
take
do
a
you
special
make
trip.
cheese sticks out of the cheese balls? I mean, we got to work on
You put
everything.
the cheese balls into the coating of the cheese stick. So you can put anything. You can also put crushed up goldfish, and you can also put crushed up Cheetos. Any kind of cheese, snack.
Can you guys believe I do the cooking in the house? Would you believe that?
I'm making toilet wine for our anniversary.
I got to say,
with the
Courtney,
plunger
he
stirring the toilet. Right.
can never complain about anything you make.
No,
I
it
know.
is. It is
I know.
crazy.
I know.
I'll make stuff and I'll be like, "This isn't that good," and Casey's eating the whole thing already. And I'm like, "All right."
I'm easy to please.
You're not teaching me nothing, but okay. I'm glad you're happy. Staples Center will be known as the Crypto.com Arena.
That's fake. That's
true.
fake.
That's true.
That's true.
What?
The Staples Center will become known as Crypto.com Arena as part of a new 20-year deal between a
Wow.
Singapore cryptocurrency exchange and whoever owns the building. So that, of course, is where the Lakers play, the Clippers, Kings, Sparks. I hope this affects my Doge. That's all I know. I didn't have money into Staples, but I got money into crypto.
I mean, this is like we're living in the dystopian future, no?
I don't.
Right?
I don't understand anything about
Me neither.
cryptocurrency, so I want to talk shit about it, but I don't really know.
Let me tell you something. Everybody that
is.
you've heard crypto or Doge from, they don't understand it either.
Yeah, that's what I
They're-
figured. It
Love
seems
that.
like a scam.
I
But
No,
think
what
but
do I
gave,
know?
I think I gave $1,000 to a dog. I don't even know what I did.
Oh,
Millie.
Millie. Millie's the Doge.
I
Say
gave
hi,
her a dog.
Millie.
Yeah.
All my checks go to Millie. She's my personal financial advisor.
I'd ask my dog every day, like, how we doing?
How we doing? Are we okay? Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? You spent on what? Bones, son of a bitch. Get out of here.
Get out of
You
here.
spent it all on bones.
Here's
And-
what you want to do. You want to download the following podcast. You ready?
Yeah.
The Narcissistas.
Ah,
Oh,
Courtney should tell you. She tells you everything. It seems like Britney Spears is free for the 15th time. That's got to be big
first
news.
of all, the first time in 13 years, how dare you? She was never
Oh.
free before. The
Okay.
headlines lie. Keith, you gotta read the body. Okay.
you gotta read the body.
She's free. She's talking shit about her family. I can't get over it. I'm so happy. Brittany, bitch.
Are you
What's
nervous?
like a fun thing that happened in the Britney world in the last couple of weeks? Like if
Well,
you
I mean, just truly just go on her Instagram and watch the videos because she is
oh, I
reading
do.
her family.
She's reading.
And I stand. I'm upset. It is just too much fun. Also, she posted little baby feet next to mama feet, and she said she wants to have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Baby Watch 2022.
yeah. She crashed a speedboat into the Lincoln Memorial.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I
That'd
haven't
be
been
funny.
following.
Mike Kaplan said it'd be funny if right away she shaves her head.
Oh my God.
Oh
Or I
god.
think Christian Finnegan, I mean. But yeah, are we nervous at all with the Instagrams where I like seeing the naked body, but it seems like a cry for help. Am I wrong or not?
I think you're
Um,
absolutely wrong.
Okay.
I think that
Keith,
she
be
loves her
careful.
body. She looks fantastic. I mean, look
Okay.
at that body. She's about to be 40 years old. She doesn't give a shit.
Right.
She looks good. She's tight. She exercises. She's got a hot fiance. Show off that bod, bitch. That's what Instagram is for. Don't put that on TikTok. They'll shut you down. But put it on Instagram. We love her. We love
can I
her.
tell you something about Britney?
Uh-uh.
Everybody
Oh, no.
else don't listen.
Okay.
We share a birthday.
Oh
For
my
a second.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
Wow.
I'm also about to turn 40. I'm just kidding. I'm turning 46, but
Very nice.
she can share a birthday with me.
That is, you were born on a blessed day. The
Mm-hmm.
Lord knew to push Brittany out on that day because of you.
Mhm,
He said she'll be in good company. Oh my God. And then Jay-Z is born the same week as you. That's a
Wow.
good time.
That's
What's
a
your
great
sign?
time.
Sagittarius.
Oh, I love it.
Love a
My
Sag.
dad, my brother-in-law, we love a Sag in this house.
We can't get
Oh,
enough of the Sag.
My birthday's is with Ronald McDonald, and I don't think he's real.
Ronald
I think he's real.
Wait, Willard Scott? He's the
Um,
original Ronald McDonald. You
oh,
just mean
was
the
he?
character? Yeah.
Was he? I think it's a fake day. They just gave
Oh.
the dude. Yeah.
I didn't mean to ruin the joke. Sorry. I thought you were being sincere.
All right, that's the show. Thank you.
Bye.
Casey James Salengo's podcast, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Everybody's taking it in the ass over there, and that's
Mhm.
always fun to see. You can't act
Mhm.
like it's a big deal or it's homophobic, but I'm
Mhm.
excited. I'm
Oh,
excited.
I'm excited. We're all excited.
Are you
Now,
guys
what
gonna-
happens if first of all, do you think it's going to happen?
If it doesn't happen by the new year, Patrick isn't allowed to watch the Super Bowl. And if you know him, football is the only joy he takes in life.
Oh,
Totally
wow.
is,
He's
yeah.
going to do it. He's going to
Yeah.
do it 100%
Mhm,
then.
mhm.
God bless.
God bless. So
How-
that's what
do they
You
have
guys
like
get
a-
real religious when it comes to butt play.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You got, then you clearly have never put it in your butt because
you're praying to God.
does-
No.
I guess that's how I really became an atheist.
No, my God.
yeah.
The Holy Spirit gets in there.
do they know do they have the tool already? 'Cause
Yeah,
if
he
I was
showed
him,
us-
I'd buy the smallest butt plug right away. And be
She
like,
has a kid. It looks like fucking like Dr. Seuss characters. It's very strange. One looks like a wizard's hat. One looks is like a little bunch of balls together. I don't know. We're trying to figure out which one is the best.
You
To
guys should
put in
get to
there.
vote. You should give your
Yeah.
audience a chance to vote.
We have. So if you want to go listen to our latest episode, we give our audience a chance to vote right in. So
Only
check in.
Patreon supporters can vote,
Yes.
which is interesting.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You got to donate. Also, 2 weeks in a row, he told me that people have emailed in saying they want to be our third. So, email that too, whatever you guys want.
Pretty cool. Pretty
Oh, any
cool.
prospects?
would you ever do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
if the
no
right-
comics, and that seems to be the only option for us. We're really comics,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. You really learn that quick when you're looking for a
It's
third.
the only type
People
of
on
person.
the internet not interested in us.
Yeah.
I forget. Have you guys done that before?
No.
No, it was a whole thing. We were trying,
Yeah.
and then we just gave up because it was all these like open micers, like "Hello."
Yeah.
We were like,
Right.
no.
And it's got to
I
be
meant
Courtney doing the
people.
work. Yeah. I just have to also be there. I can't be like, hey, you guys, what are you guys doing? I have to just like also be around. So it's gotta-
Cheese
it's all
sticks,
Courtney.
anybody?
Complicated.
Yeah.
Cheese
Hey,
sticks,
look what
girls.
I made a
I
candle
know.
out of Vaseline.
Do you have rules already set in place, like who's allowed to do what or where's the line?
Not really. We haven't gotten that far, I don't think. I think we really were just like trying to find who it was gonna be. And
and then we'll set up some rules. What are
Rule
I
number
don't know.
one: nobody
They-
handsome. Rule number
No,
two:
but
yeah, I
they,
mean,
they can't use the toilet.
I have a hang up with that. But please take my wife. I just don't like
Well,
people in my bathroom.
We'll set out a bucket for them.
Oh my God. They have to be able to suck their own dick. That's the number one rule.
Yeah,
So that
it's
really weeds
clo-
out a lot
it's
of people.
closing down.
It really
And you have to be on Alpha Brain.
right. You have to take ox blood and then we'll get the party started. Courtney and Casey, thank you so much for your time. It's always fun to see you.
Thank you.
We love you both
guys.
so much. Happy almost birthday. What are you doing? Can we come? We'll do it.
Okay.
We'll come.
Can I perform there?
Can I perform? You doing a show? I'll do it.
Oh my God. Now I want to do a show.
Yeah.
No,
let's do
we
it.
gotta go. We gotta go. Okay.
KeithAndTheGirl.com.